Hello everyone, how are y'all? I hope y'all are great. We are a little tired and worn out, but I wanted to come on to spread some awareness for a case that's possibly, well, I'm going to say it is more twisted than Sebastian Rogers' case. And I know that's going to blow y'all's mind, but it's true. This is the story of Stefanie Damron, New Sweden, Maine, September 23rd, 2024. The mystery starts on that day. And 24 hours later, on the 24th, she's reported missing by her parents. One day later, after a 13-year-old walks into the woods out in the middle of nowhere. Explain that. All from a little argument with her sister over chores. That's what's being told. I don't know if it's the truth, but that's what's being told. And remember that allegedly these are my thoughts. From looking at everything that's out there, these are my thoughts on Stefanie Damron. Its case starts, way back in Texas from Maine. Russ, Texas, Lufkins, Texas. All over Texas. With a rap sheet a mile long following them everywhere they moved. Every time they moved. Bouncing around, all because of CPS. The CPS nightmare, the mom says. We're moving to Maine, to the middle of nowhere, 20 miles from the Canadian border. So if we ever get caught, we can just run across the border. That's what I think. Allegedly, in my opinion. They got so far away from Texas that they couldn't have got any farther. Look it up on the map. New Sweden, Maine. 577 population. In the middle of the woods. You think Sebastian was rural? Huh. Stefanie Damron was living off the grid. No running water. Okay, that means no toilets, no showers, no running water. Off the grid. 1 mile from a paved road, supposedly, and 3 miles to the nearest little town. That's remote. That's the middle of nowhere. And little Stefanie was 13 at the time. She's 14 now. And her parents, Christopher, doesn't that remind you of another case? His name is Christopher. And he's got a rap sheet, believe me. And CPS was all over his trail. Arrested at McDonald's with his wife, Lisa Marie, because they were intoxicated. Kids left in the car. They were arrested. The mom was charged, child endangerment, all these things. She takes a plea, takes a lesser charge of criminal intent or something like that, I guess, to the child that they left in the car. This is a mother that clearly stated, getting away from this god-awful CPS stuff. They were fixing to all go to jail, I think. And they just kept moving and bouncing to the smallest little towns of anywhere you can go. The smallest of the smallest little towns. And so they could hide. Right? They never showed emotion. And they never searched for their daughter. Ask the locals. Locals clearly stated it's everywhere. Go read it. They did not participate. They declined to participate in the search for their 13 at the time year old daughter. Her little green eyes and her brown hair. that supposedly had a phone that belonged to their grandpa, but they had no internet. They're off the grid. They have nothing. How was she in communication with people? She wasn't. Why do you think the FBI got involved? These people bounced so far around the world and ended up at the farthest remote place you can get, right on the border of Canada. I mean, think about that. They went all the way to the border of Canada from Texas. That's how bad their CPS troubles were. They had to run that far. And then to tell the story of she's done this twice before. Why is this child running? I always say children run for a reason. What does the CPS trail tell us? What does it tell us? No wonder she was running. And this one really hurts. This little angel was running from them. I don't know. This one really, I did a few videos on Stefanie in the beginning, and I always saw the red flags, but you know what? I was like, I'm going to let this one play out a little and see if they just keep digging their hole, right? And sure enough, they did. To me, anyway. Allegedly, in my opinion. Remember, these are just my opinions, my thoughts, my theories, my speculation, my free speech. Take it as a grain of salt, right? But when they declined. That's out there. Y'all get what I'm saying. Trigger warnings always. Times 100 million. Y'all's comments, y'all's alone. Not to reflect the channel. Come here. It's foggy here. Come here. And Ruby just pulled her collar off. We're just on a little break. But anyway, sorry to get distracted on that. She pulled her collar off. I don't ever keep it very tight. So in case she was to pull a certain way, it's going to come off. So that's a good thing. Anyway, their CPS trail really literally in the arrest records goes way, way back, right? Way back to Lufkin, Texas. All around Texas. All around. From the south to the north to the east to the west. CPS was on their ass. Mama clearly stated it. It's on a Facebook post somewhere on her dad's Facebook post account or something. They're weird about Facebook posting when they say they're living off the grid and have no internet. They have no internet. How does she have access to internet to meet somebody? Why is the father saying, oh, she met somebody, oh, they picked her up. Like, yep, she ran away twice before. You know what? I don't think this girl probably has run away before. Or if she did, she was running for a reason. From them. From him. It's like another Christopher and Katie instead of Christopher and Lisa Marie. If that's even really her name, but you know, when you do this, and then you tell people later on as it gets hot on your trail that you want warrants if they're going to search your property. Denial. Why do we live in denial sometimes? When the answers are right in front of our face. How many CPS cases have we covering? Maddie Soto, right? I think, I don't remember if there was one on her. There might not have been one in Maddie's case, but Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, Stefanie Damron, and more. The list goes on and on and on. And, you know, when you run, what do you expect CPS to do? Yes, they try to track you down, but when you're going little town to little town, probably staying off the grid in a tent somewhere, there's no telling. They live off the grid, no running water. Remember that. These children, 6 children growing up with no running water. Why in the God's name did you have 6 kids if you can't take care of your kids? I don't know. He's quite a bit older than her. I think maybe 9 to 11 years, something like that. He is older than her. And you know that the Caleb Collins case, remember that case? It was, what was him? He was CPS, and his dad was quite a bit older than the mom, remember? It's like, there's just so many similarities to these other cases. That's why I'm like, man, this really reminds me of Sebastian Rogers, but with more of a twist. Because, you know, they have the arrest records. They're out there. They have the CPS. They don't know what it is, but we know that there's a lot of them and they were on their trail. Because clearly the mom even stated that's why they moved to Maine in the first place. Going to Maine to get away from the god-awful whatever CPS stuff. So what does that tell you? That tells you that CPS was involved that many times. You're talking more than Sebastian. That looks like way more, guys. Seriously. Like so many, you can't even count them, right? And it's like, what do you do, right? When they give you all the answers, why are they walking free? I've always wondered that in Damron's case. When you know they did it, arrest them, figure it out. I mean, 24 hours to report your daughter missing? And the FBI, you think the FBI believes you? No, I don't think they do. I don't think none of them believe them. They're not ruling out foul play. Everything's still on the table. They're still suspects. It's the same thing as Sebastian Rogers. It's right behind the door, and we've been missing it and not spreading awareness for this girl for a while. And that's not right. And I apologize that I haven't been spreading awareness enough. And I will, because this case truly deserves it. Something's going on. And this is a cover-up. And I think this one will be a lot easier to figure out than Sebastian Rogers' case. I really do. So, we're going to keep our boots on the ground on this, and we might be doing some searching. I know that's a long way to go, guys. I mean, it would have to be summer months, because right now the weather, there's no way you can search it now. But I'm going to see what I can do and try to get, when it gets their summer, try to get up there really quick and do some searching. I know there's a lot of people that are jumping on this case. I know that she's got a big group going on Facebook and stuff. Letters to her, letters to Stefanie. There's a lot of stuff out there. Go read some of the posts. Go read some of the posts these people are putting about this family and what they know about this family and the truth about this family behind closed doors. Y'all go check it out for yourself. It's really going to blow your mind. Go listen to some of the things that the father posts on his Facebook page. And one day he posted over 500 posts of just little clips, like the Joker and evil's always forgiven. Evil's always forgiven. What does that mean? And why would he post that? I looked through every one of those posts, and that's a lot of them. And a couple of them stood out. The Joker stood out to me because of what it symbolizes, right? And then the little red thing with like a skull and a bone, it said evil's always forgiven. That one really tripped me out. Because what he's trying to say is he's the Joker, right? And evil's always forgiven. So no matter what he did, he's forgiven. Y'all get that? Some people use different ways of expressing their guilt, right? They do that. I'm telling you, they do it. And it's up to us to find it. And when I was looking through those and I was looking at everything and the meaning of all his posts, besides a couple to his wife, and if you get way down to the bottom, he had one picture, I think, of one post of his daughter. That's it. 500, 600 posts and only one, maybe two, of Stefanie. And she met somebody on a broken old flip phone, okay? She was on the internet somehow on a broken old flip phone. When they didn't, supposedly they don't have internet, they don't have nothing, they're off the grid. They don't even have running water or lights, no power. I mean, think about this, guys. You know, I don't know how this one slipped so much behind everyone. I even did videos on this one. That's what gets me, is I did videos on it and I still let it slide away. I feel so bad for that, because we should have really been digging on this one. And I'm going to, you know, I'm sorry, I don't know, you know. I mean, I'm still going to cover all the other cases, but this one right now needs a lot of attention, guys. It really does. And it's truly, truly, truly a heartbreaking story to think that this girl walked off in the woods. And check this out, okay? You're a mile from the road, roughly. That's what's been put out there. The paved road, the little county road, FM whatever, is like a mile walk or something. And they're saying that they heard a car pull up right after she left. Okay, they're all inside but the grandpa. Grandpa's working on the door. He sees her walk by him. She turns around, her eyes are teared up and she's crying. And she turns back the other way and walks in the woods. Grandpa just let her go. Didn't try to stop her, nothing. Let her go. What are you doing? Who's a grown-up here? I mean, especially if she had a history of doing this, and you just let her do it. Looking at her, from watching her walk away and do it. You see what I'm getting at? It's all of them. And it's her daddy, I believe. Yeah, her daddy. Grandpa. I mean, I don't know, guys. This one truly hurts. Because I think y'all are going to be able to solve this in a week. Just go watch his clips, guys. I know how y'all dig. Go watch the clips from this father. Dateline and some other ones. And just watch in his little camouflage jacket. Sitting up there giving his theory. With no emotion, no tears, no begging for his daughter, no where could she be, no let her go. Yeah, she somehow must have made contact with someone on that phone, and Grandpa's phone. And Grandpa, I guess, didn't see the messages coming in, but Grandpa's phone. And she doesn't have a phone, so she didn't have a cell phone with her. But somehow all this happened, and they never stopped it. If it happened. I don't think it happened. I don't think she was communicating with anybody in that rural area. That far out in the middle of nowhere. I just don't see it. Now, running away, yeah, if she's, with all the CPS that we know, yeah, I could see her running. But like I always say, they run for a reason. So I think that it was more of abuse going on in that home. Way more than we know. And that's what we need to find out. We got their arrest records. We got all that stuff, all the court papers. You know, I'm working on trying to find out what states had CPS, you know, out of all the places they bounced around to. I think like 20, 30 times. I can't even imagine. You got to remember, this child's only 13 and they moved that much. Pretty much every month or every 6 months, they're moving somewhere. Because CPS, they don't want to get caught. So what do? Finally, I guess, worked a way to get all the way up there. To the farthest tip from the bottom tip. That's running. They're running too. They're running away from their problems. You get it? They're running too. That's what they always do, is run. That's what she always sees, is running. But in my opinion, I can confidently say she didn't run. They waited 24 hours. It was 40 degrees outside that night. She had on blue jeans, black Harley Davidson hiking boots, and a long sleeve blue t-shirt. No coat, no nothing. It got 40 degrees and they let her stay in 40-degree temperature all night. Who does that? This is your child. I mean, are you kidding me? I hope y'all see this picture, guys. I really do. Because this girl didn't run away. She's out there somewhere, but she didn't run away. They know where she is. And we're going to keep fighting to get to the bottom of it. She deserves that. And the thing is what scares me is they're so used to bouncing around. They're going to run again soon. if they haven't already. They're going to run soon. I don't see them staying there now because, why? Because all the running they do led them to where they are now, and now they're in the spotlight. So, like I'm saying, they're planning something, I can almost tell you. They're going to be gone, and you see how rural they get. You know how hard it's going to be to find them? I mean, you got to remember, there's not cameras on these rural roads, guys. There's no way to track them down. They can go right across the Canadian border somehow, sneak across somewhere, drive through the country. They're right there, 20 miles. 15 to 20 miles, I think, from the border, which depends on which way you go to the Canadian border, to the right or up, or, you know. But I don't know, guys. I don't usually come out and do videos like this early, but usually I try to break it down slowly, but I'm not breaking this one down slow. This girl has been missing, what, 160 days almost? And they're not searching. They're not allowing. They declined to search. They never searched. There was no search done for this girl when she went missing for 1 month. It took 1 month for that small community, 577 people. It took 1 month for them to get up enough nerve to go search. But at least, thank God, now they are searching and they're building a team. But they waited a month to go search for this girl. If she had walked in those woods, if she did walk in those woods, like allegedly being told, and got hurt, she laid there. There's no touch. She could have laid there 3 weeks with a broken ankle and nobody looking for her. These are the kind of things that really blow my mind about parents sometimes. It's, you know, how many of these parents are like this? I think there needs to be a new website put out for CPS. Just post it. Don't post what they did. Post their name and put it up on a page, right? Like offenders have to do. CPS needs to start making them register wherever they go. And some of them are going to avoid it, like these guys. They would have avoided that. They would have ran. But not everyone's going to run. I think it needs to be a flag up there. And if we can start doing something like that, I think you put an end to a lot of these children going missing. If everybody knew that's in that community that they were CPS, if they had to publicly put it, and anybody was to run a check when they moved to town, they're going to see the number of CPS reports. It needs to be a number up there. If it's 1, if it's 10, if it's 20, put the number up there. That way the public, when they get ready to go help search for a missing child, they can look up the child, Google the parents real quick, see it, and go, oh my God, okay. Let's try to focus on what they're saying and how they're acting, right? Try to build a community. It'll build awareness so good that it will help the community. Because there's a lot of big-hearted people that jump on these things right away and want to help. They start Facebook pages, they get out there and they search. So if they had this knowledge up front, then they can red flag everything that they don't do, that the parents don't do. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, they reported, hey, the parents didn't want to help, they didn't search, da 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 da. They said they searched for her a little bit when they got home, but I don't know. I don't think they were gone. There's no way to tell they were gone unless the application was provable. And why did you do an application all of a sudden when you weren't working, living off the grid anyway? It makes me wonder, okay, was that application your cover-up story? We have to look at that. Had something already happened, so mommy and you left to show that y'all were gone, and came up with the story, right? We don't know. Because they're off the grid. And 3 miles in the middle of nowhere. This is a mystery. This little girl is somewhere right there within that vicinity. I bet you she's less than a mile from that home. I really do feel that she's probably less than a mile from that home, because I don't think she would have made it all the way to that main road. For one, if she was running scared. Or two, they did something bad happen and they covered it up. Like Don and Candace Wells. This is worse than Don and Candace Wells, guys. I'm sorry, but it is. These parents have they're way worse record than the Wells. Believe me when I say that. This guy is way younger than Don Wells and about 100 times worse than Don Wells when it comes to criminal stuff. and bouncing and moving around and running from the law. That's all they've been doing whole life, running from the law. And that's why she made that post that time on Facebook under her dad's Facebook account, that they're running away, they're getting away from all their CPS problems, and CPS has been so evil to us. No, y'all caused CPS. It's not the kid's fault, it's y'all's fault. And if she's running, they're all running. To me, if one of the children is running, they're all running, usually. If it's the parents that are doing that and they're all close to the same age, I think one of the older sisters is 15 or 1 year older than her. At a time might have been 2 years older, I don't know. Supposedly she was the one home with the grandpa, or the four kids were home with the grandpa or whatever. And not one saw anything else. Not one. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't add up, guys. And they're trying to use their kids, which is, their kids are the root of their problem, right? Because of CPS. So can you imagine? What about the other kids? 1 out of 6, right? I think 2 are now away from home, so that's good. They're safe. But the other ones are not. The other 5, well, Stefanie's missing right now, but the other 4 are around her age, I'm guessing, I'm assuming. So what is their life like? Especially now with all the tension and the drama. I'm surprised CPS hasn't stepped in and taken those kids. I'm really shocked with the way that this is going, that they haven't done that. I think there's enough probable cause with what's going on in their stories to take those kids. They took Don and Kansas kids. They can take them. But I don't know how the laws are up there in Maine, but oh man, I don't know. I just pray for them and pray for her, and we just got to see what we can dig with. That's so far away. I'll go in the summer, but I can't go now. It's like an iceberg up there. You wouldn't be able to search more than probably 20, 30 minutes at a time. You'd have to go get warm. It's too hard to do that for that far away. They are right on the Canadian border. But I'm going to start working with that group and see if we can't figure out some kind of big summer search like we're going to do for summer wells, I can just bounce around in that 5 weeks to a few different ones and help, a little bit on all of them. That's the good thing, I don't know. We're just going to have to figure it out. But I want y'all to dig on this case, please. Y'all, the ones that always ask, dig on this case. I need to see some comments from y'all guys of what y'all think, or if I'm just crazy. But I don't think I'm crazy, but their records are their records, right? But little Stefanie's the one that suffered in all this. And she's the one getting lost in all this. So we need to spread her name and her face and share her flyer. And justice needs to be. We're going to keep digging, guys. I got to go back to work. Sorry, I wish I could keep going, but I can't. I got to get out of here. Oh, we might get some sun finally. It's been so foggy. It's still early here, but man, oh man. All right, guys, y'all have a wonderful day. Remember, allegedly, these are my opinions, my thoughts, my theories, my speculation, my free speech, not to reflect the channel. Y'all's comments, y'all's and y'all's alone, not to reflect the channel. We do our research together. Big-hearted little family. And trigger warnings, always, times 100 million. Justice, justice, justice for Stefanie Damron. And may she be found one way or another, whether she did run off and meet someone or foul play happened. We're going to do our best to figure it out. All right, guys, y'all be good, be safe. We love y'all. Talk on the next one. All right, bye.